Hey there, blue skies in London. Look how beautiful it is here. Springtime. So a quick update. I've had somebody reach out to me from within the Lifewave community to basically offer to sponsor me for 90 days to use Lifewave's. I don't know if it's Lifewave's official or a sub-community within the Lifewave community's knee healing protocol, which will utilize 3 different patches. So it's definitely not something I could afford right now because of the way things are right now. So yeah, I cannot believe that. And what can I say about that? That there are just some I've met some very kind people in this industry. And yeah, I also want to say the people I've met in London, I worked in West London before, which is a very wealthy area where I was working, who've made their money through hedge funds or they were born into very privileged positions. They are impressive people, like some of them in some ways. But the people I've met in the direct selling community, the good ones, because there's good and bad in any industry. You meet good and bad lawyers, good and bad car mechanics. But a lot of the self-made multi-millionaires I've met in the direct selling community are very, very special people. They're distinct from the West London people I mentioned earlier. Why? Because a lot of them are unlikely candidates to become very successful. They are completely self-made and built from the ground up themselves. They've often read a ton of books. They've overcome real challenges. Sorry about that. And I can think of one person in this community who I believe was a coffee barista, and has just done so well, and it's so amazing to see. And often they understand psychology very well, and just all they've learned to public speak, which I know people in London who are very accomplished who couldn't public speak like the guys I've met in direct selling. But anyway, that's off on a tangent. So one of those people has reached out to me to really make the point and offered to sponsor me for 90 days to use 3 products. Now, I believe I'm right in saying it's the Aeon, which I am going to research more about the products now that this person has done this, because I just feel I owe it to them and to myself and for these videos to be able to say, look, Lifewave say that this product does this and this, because otherwise it's just a bit. Anyway, that's something I'll do. So I think the 3 products are Aeon, which I believe is an anti-inflammatory patch, the X39, which is one of their flagship patches, which increases a peptide in the body, the HPK, a peptide of sorts, to elevate stem cells, and maybe was it glutathione? I'm not sure. And to position those on the knee in a certain formation to see if it aids the healing of the knee. I have a degenerative meniscal tear. As well as that, he's recommended some nutraceuticals, so nutritional supplements, which I'm familiar with, and I will take care of that because it's the least I could do. So yeah, that will be interesting. I'll document it. To give a very, very quick bit of history, before using Lifewave, I had an ankle injury. It was a ligament tear from somebody at a Brazilian jiu-jitsu class who was, let's say, overzealous and placed an ankle lock on me and just tore. I felt the ankle pop when he did it. It was a stupid thing to do. If you ever train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, do not train with egocentric idiots. Train with good, seasoned people who will not use you as a means of boosting their ego or whatever. So yeah, that's how the ankle injury happened. The knee, and within a week of using the X39, so that was about 14 months old, and it was getting worse to the point where in the morning when I would step out of bed, I would hobble the first few steps, and it felt like it was declining quite quickly, and I was getting worried because I had seen a knee surgeon, which I'll get onto in a sec, who I asked about fixing the ankle with surgery, and he said, coming from a surgeon, you want to avoid surgery at all costs. Let me emphasize that to you. So I thought, oh no, what can I do? Getting stem cells injected into the body carries some risk, it's expensive, and yeah, so that's the ankle injury. And within a week of wearing the X39, that pain disappeared. Now, apparently that's not typical. Maybe I was a fast responder or whatever. You know, I am a skeptic by nature, so I cannot prove. So I'm always putting myself in a skeptic's shoes. I cannot prove that was the patch. How can I prove it was the patch? I can't prove it. I think there's strong evidence that it is, because it's the only thing that changed in my routine. Literally, it's the only thing that changed. And the pain was gone like a light switch. Very, very strange. So, yeah, I guess a naysayer could say it's all sorts of different things. Placebo effect and whatever, but to me is compelling, you know. So that's the ankle injury. And then the knee thing that I is a degenerative meniscal tear on the medial side. It's on the inside of the knee there, and if I were to sit cross-legged like this to apply pressure through the knee that way, it would cause a lot of pain when I read, and I wouldn't be able to do that. And so after a month of wearing the X39, my ability to sit in that cross-legged position with my right leg over my left knee, so there's lateral pressure going through the right knee, my ability to do that increased. There just seemed to be less pain in the knee, and that was but I still would feel pain on the knee. For example, if I knelt down on the floor and sat on my heels, that would still cause pain. And I reached a point where I thought, yikes, can I afford to keep doing this? I don't know. I was torn because, and I'll bring this to a close here, I was torn because I'm told, or I heard with the X39, you need to do 3 months minimum, and then a month for every decade that you've been alive. So for me, that would be 7 months minimum to get the stem cells. And if you don't know what stem cells are, they basically heal stuff in the body. It's basically God's power, healing power, that's given innately into your body, or if you believe in Mother Nature, whatever. Or anyway, another topic. It's God's. So stem cells heal stuff in the body. So it takes 8 months it would take 7 months for me, according to the Lifewave protocol, for the patch to get my stem cells up to their kind of optimal level. And then my guess is that you'd want to kind of sit there for at least a month for, you know, to be able to make a good estimation of whether or not the patches are going to heal whatever is wrong. And I also want to finish by saying that so I've been offered 3 months of these 3 patches, not just the one patch. But bearing in mind I've already done kind of 5 months more or less unbroken on the X39. Yeah, I think it will, even though I've had now 2 weeks off, I think it'll still, let's see what happens. So thank you to the person who's done that. God bless you. I might disclose who you are if you're okay with it. Yeah, needless to say, there are just some great people in this industry. Nice hair. And I also, I want to say, I think this, just take a run over here. I also want to say that I've seen a couple of comments, people talking about problems they have. I'm a health coach. I help people lose weight and keep it off, and also optimize other parts of their lifestyle to feel better. And I believe that the 4 pillars of health are mindset, which is a cliche term, so people switch off when they hear that, but I'm not going to go into it, it's too long, it'll be too long a video, but one of the components of mindset is the ability to recover from setbacks, so to be setback ready. When you start building a new lifestyle, you are 100% going to fall off the horse. You need a system already waiting for when that happens, okay? So I work with people, for example, to develop that skill and to share with them that system and help them implement it when, for example, we talk and they say, oh, it went so badly this week. And I say, what happened? And they say, well, I didn't go to the gym at all. I ate 2 tubs of Haagen-Dazs on whatever. And anyway, so mindset, sleep optimization is massive for helping you to adhere to your diet and stuff. Sleep affects cravings, nutrition and movement. And that movement, strong emphasis on movement outside of the gym. I'm walking now for a reason. I could have easily taken a bike and... Anyway, so I believe they're the 4 pillars. Mindset, sleep, kind of in that order of priority, then nutrition and movement. Why do I say that? Because I think that just to slap a patch on, if you're eating McDonald's every day, for example, you cannot tolerate having a setback as you're trying to build new habits. You walk 2,000 steps a day and you never do anything to nourish your body with good movement. I think it's the wrong way to do it. I think get those 4 pillars in place alongside a patch. I've got one on the back of my neck. Let's see if I can show you that. Can you see that? Maybe not. I've got a patch on the back of my neck. That's just an X49 I was given complimentary I went to a Lifewave conference to see what it was all about, and this is like an energy boosting patch. So yeah, I see people in the comments asking, what about this, and if I have this, and the truth is, guys, I don't really know much about the patches. I can just tell my experience that I've had a lot of amazing testimonials. Surely some of them are placebo, but not all of them. I just don't believe that. I think that's not possible. I mean, you're talking hundreds, if not thousands. So people are asking me about, will it fix this issue? I really would encourage you to address those 4 pillars. Not to be perfect in any one of them, but good enough. And good enough in those 4 combined will get you so many things will be healed just with good sleep. Get your telephone out of your bedroom, right? I'm in preaching mode. This is getting out of control. 14 minutes. So that's the update. 90 days sponsorship. Thank you. And to that person, and I'll let you know how it goes.